Hey everybody, this is Renae from The Space Between, and you are listening to The Space Between podcast, the show that lets you listen to how the fans feel about the music, the art behind over 30 years of the Dave Matthews Band. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Space Between podcast, the podcast where we talk about the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. The Dave Matthews Band is going into their 33rd year of making so many people so happy. And so, of course, every Friday I bring on a new fan of the Dave Matthews Band on the show to tell us their journey with this band. And so today is like every Friday I have a fan, but this show is a little special. I'll say it before I even introduce him, that like usually it's state bound, right? Like we're doing it in the United States, but I need everyone to remember that the Dave Matthews Band is not an American band. Like it is, but also they're world known. Like they travel, they're going to Europe this year. Like people know about them around the globe. And so we're going to prove that today. I want to introduce my guest. So tell us who you are, where you are, and then I need for you to tell us what was your first memory of finding the Dave Matthews Band?
Oh, hey, Renae. It's really great to be with you today. My name is Kieron Buffery. I'm originally from the UK. And right now I am talking to you from the mountains of Transylvania, city of Brasov in Romania.
Amazing.
It's tonking the snow outside. I've been skiing with my son today, and I've been so looking forward to this. I love the way that you lead into this. Is how did I discover? I will never forget the first time that I heard the music of Dave Matthews Band. I was working on a very well-known cruise line in the USA called Carnival.
Oh,
and it was the Carnival Imagination. Carnival, yeah, Barnival.
Yes.
Carnival Cruise Line in 1996, and two of the guys that I was very close with, a guy called Scott Lockwood, a guy called Kurt McCormick, and we sort of had these cabins close to each other. And they're like, Kieron, come over and listen to this. And at the time, it was like a pissing contest of who had the biggest CD player in their cabin. You know?
Yes.
And they put the song on. I never heard this band before. I never heard any of their music. And they played Drive In, Drive Out. I'm like, what is this? You know, that whole drum fill, that whole thing. I'm like, this resonates. This resonates. And from then on, I bought the CD of Crash, and then Under the Table and Dreaming, and then waited for their next album to come out, which was Before These Crowded Streets. And I was living in the States sort of like a little bit after that time, and I went to the Gorge 2023, and that was my 45th show.
Oh wow.
But
wow,
me,
so you were there last year.
I was there last year when he came out. He played Buffett. That to me had
yes.
I was crying. I had tears, and And when he brought out, I don't remember her name, Molly Little or something.
Yes,
just
Tuttle, Molly Tuttle, I believe.
Yeah, the long black veil. And I'd seen them all through the Lovely Ladies stage and in Vegas and through the Boyd thing of, you know, if you look into the mirror, you know, it was just, it's been an incredible tent.
Right.
And I took a break from just where I was personally and living after I left the United States, because, you know, I lived in San Diego. So for 8 years, I was seeing them in San Diego, seeing them in LA, seeing them at the Gorge. I think the first time I went to the Gorge was 2004, then 2008, awesome. Then I didn't go 2007 actually, because I had not seen the band since Leroy and Boyd had departed. So last year at the Gorge was my first time seeing the band without those two.
Wow. I mean, and we'll get into that because I want to get your take on, I guess, the new version of the band, if you will, but we'll get to that. But
sure.
I want to hear what your thoughts were.
I mean, I like I said, I fell in love. Didn't fall out of love with the band, but I stopped listening for a while.
Sure,
so after Big Whiskey, I kind of like listened to that album, and I was like, okay, that's cool. That's a tribute to Leroy, and Away from the World. I never really listened to. And then they came with Come Tomorrow.
Yes,
2018. And I was like, okay, that's a good album.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I just fell out of love. I just started listening to different things, and but seeing Dave come on, I've never been in the pit. I've never been one of those rail guys to be. I like my reserve seat. I like to do my things,
Yes.
But to see him come on, and when the band came, without Leroy, without Boyd, I know there's lots of people like, bring the violin back. I'm like,
yes,
not bring a violin back, but not Boyd, because he was out too for years. He's out too for years, and we all know that, But the energy that he came with was phenomenal.
Of course. It's unmatchable.
But seeing, yes, it is. It's incredible. Absolutely, just what? But then I think, like Dave said, his head wasn't really in the room.
Right. Exactly. And they needed all of him.
Yeah, they did need every ounce of that boisterous, incredible, energetic juggernaut. Yeah. But they got that with Rashawn and Jeff. And Buddy.
God.
I mean,
Buddy.
I used to. I think the first time when I went to the Gorge, it was quite an interesting story. Do you want to hear this?
I want to hear everything.
Puff while we're on the podcast.
We can do whatever the fuck we want because this is my show.
I love you. I love you. Okay.
Is that not true though?
When I went to the Gorge the first time, it was quite interesting because I was working on cruise ships, and it was the guys that introduced me to the band. That we said, listen, we're going to go. We camped at Wild Horse, and and things came into our perspective of bits and pieces that would need to enhance the journey, should I say?
Yeah,
we're able to be given.
Yes,
and we all drove out to Wild Horse, and we had through my work, and it's quite ridiculous, but it's quite sort of like under the table of bullshit of how it should be. I was the head of entertainment on a cruise ship, and we had this VIP art auction cruise, and the art auctioneer, this is before the Gorge, goes, listen, man, if you push us, I'll give you $1,500. I said, listen, man, I said, you know what you can do is you can give me and my 3 friends VIP tickets to the Gorge for one night. And he did it. It was so we were there in this VIP box, tripping off our tits.
As you should be.
And Pig was the opener on the first night. And it was like, oh my God, this is the first time at the Gorge, and this is what we've got. We're in VIP boxes, and we're just off our tits. And we're just like, the moon is going over. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? And there we were. And we did 3 days that, And then I went back in 2007 and introduced a friend of mine. He flew over from England and said, come and see this band. I picked him up in Seattle. We drove to the Gorge, and he met people there. And I'm actually going to his wedding next week in the UK.
Oh, wow. Wow. So like lifelong friend now.
Yeah. I mean, everything that has come from this band has given me so much joy
Ooh,
and so
I
much
love that.
love, you know,
I love that.
and going to the Gorge with a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, that we both do the same job. We met each other once at the Gorge in 2007, but we know each other through mutual friends in our cruising industry. He's like, hey, do you want to come and hang with us at Oasis? So I bought a tent in Oasis. I flew first class on Virgin Airways. I went to the Gorge, and that was the first time that I'd seen the band since 2007.
Wow. Wow. So let's talk about comparisons, because you've been able to see, and I don't mean comparisons. That was the wrong word, but let's talk about like the evolution of the band before your eyes, right? Like, so you saw them early, and then you saw them kind of mid, and then you saw them last year. So you've almost seen like I don't know, you've seen the evolution, right? So like, what are your thoughts on that from like beginning band to what we have now?
Well, the first time I saw the band was 1998, August 22nd, 1998, the Bristow Pavilion in Virginia. And I was dating a girl from Maryland. And she is, and still is, a successful marketing manager. Awesome. And we went there, and she goes, come on, we're going to go see Dave Matthews Band. I know you're a fan. And it was like, oh my God, general admission. And so we started to walk up to walk to the back of the pavilion, and she went, no, come this way. We're going down here. I was in the second fucking row.
Yes.
She goes, I'm just kidding. I've got these seats here through work. I was in the second row. I think the other one was Seek Up. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Hang on a second. I can't process this. So you had that, and then and going through them, I think I was a little bit spoiled of living in the United States and going to see them in LA and Arizona, Chula Vista, and then the Gorge. But I mean, the thing is that I remember one time we were at the Home Depot in LA, and a friend of mine, he come down from Vegas, the guy that turned me on to Dave. He'd broken his hand. He'd had money stolen. He goes, I don't know if we can do it. I said, come on, we're going. And I always remember one thing about that show was Leroy had to keep walking off because he had tummy troubles. This is way before, his accident and stuff.
Sure.
But I remember sitting there, I'm like, aren't you glad you came? He goes, I can't thank you enough. Seeing them in Vegas at the Sam Boyd Stadium with the lovely ladies,
oh my gosh, yes.
Lenny Kravitz and Macy Gray, Widespread Panic opened up from just like, it was just so intense. And then seeing them now, like the beauty, the incredible genius of Butch Taylor, of just,
yes.
Oh, that just that.
So good.
Oh man. And then now you have this fucking powerhouse of Butch. I mean, the harmonies and stuff, and Jeff Coffin and Rashawn with his, they're just it's ridiculously bad. It's ridiculously badly good.
Exactly. Masters of their trade.
Yes, there is. And there's Carter, still smiling, still going. 62
He is literally amazing. I mean, if I talk to people that don't know anything about the Dave Matthews Band, the one thing they know is about the drummer. They know Carter because Carter is known outside in like the percussion world as being one of the best. One of the best.
But I mean, the thing is that, that for that's the first thing I heard. I'm like, what's this? So yes, I am going to the Gorge 2024. That's it. I booked my time off. I'm going. Absolutely. I'm going to see them in Amsterdam and Cologne as well, over in Europe.
Yes, that was going to be a question for sure, since they're coming to that side of the pond. Were you going to be able to see them? You were like, fuck yeah, I would miss it.
only allows Amsterdam and Cologne. But yeah, I mean, it's great. I actually have tickets for Florence and Milan. And I bought those on a whim that I may be off, but I gifted those to the guy who's getting married. So he's going to take his new wife to Florence and Milan, and that's going to be his wedding present.
So is she a fan? Or is this going to be like a new thing for her?
This is her first time to see Dave in Florence and Milan.
Well, you know what? Hopefully it's a great story and she walks out just flabbergasted at the amazingness. Hopefully that's what happens. Hopefully she loves it.
I think so. Yeah.
I hope so. So tell us, I know that you have some crazy stories within the band. So let's talk about those. I know you have some crazy stories. Right.
Yeah. So this one thing that sort of like brought us together, and I saw your post on Facebook. It's quite funny. It's a long time ago. I was living near San Diego, California, and I was working for a well-known cruise line at the time. And I was quite close with one of our marketing managers who was also a Dave fan. And she was from Ohio, and she worked in radio in Ohio before coming down to Miami to work as marketing manager for us. And this is the Gorge. No, wasn't the Gorge first time. I think it was a little bit earlier than this. So anyway, I guess I was like, Emily, is any chance you get me backstage or get an autograph or something through your excuse me, got the hiccups. Your people in radio. She goes, well, let me put my feelers out.
Yeah.
So a couple of months went by. I didn't want to bang. She goes, hey, Kieron. She goes, what shows are you going to? I said, okay, I think I'm going to Arizona, and I think I'm going to Chula Vista, and I'm going to LA. I don't remember what year it was. She goes, well, listen, we can't get you backstage passes or a meet and greet with the band, but the band said they're going to send you something.
What?
I'm like, okay.
The band said?
The band said they're going to send you something.
Oh my God.
Okay. Like a signed picture or something. So when we get, my wife and I at the time, when we get back to California, our neighbour's like, hey, Kieron, I got this big box over here with I don't know what it is. And he just hikes it over the fence.
Oh God.
It's like a box. It's like 5.5 foot tall, 3 foot wide. I'm like, well, what? He throws it over the fence. I'm like, what the fuck, man? So I open it up, and there's a violin case. And I open the violin case, and it's a violin signed by Boyd Tinsley.
Hello, everybody. This is Dave Rich from the Eddie Casino Band out in Las Vegas. We're really excited to get this journey going, celebrating our music, our original music, on all platforms. We just released our first single over Labor Day weekend called Eddie Casino. If you're looking for new music, look out for our next single coming out to Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Apple Music. These guys in the band are really excited to get started playing music for you all. If you like Tom Petty, Zach Brown, Jason Mraz, Dave Matthews Band, Rob Thomas, Jimmy Buffett, Pink Floyd, Stapleton, Bare Naked Ladies, Goose, Billy Strings, Sting and the Police, a ton of influences that we bring to the table. Hope you enjoy our music and look forward to seeing you soon live on stage.
Oh my God. How the hell did you end up getting? I mean, I guess it was your connection, right? Ultimately.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
So that's what it was.
Wow.
And that now is in some garage or storage place with my friends in Las Vegas. But that's what it was. He just threw it over. It was like a huge box. Like, what? I'm like, what the? And then I'm like, I said to my wife, Steph, I'm like, Steph, Boyd Tinsley. She goes, who's Boyd? I was like, the guy we saw last night,
Oh, you
Seriously.
could have
So
never
that's
guessed that.
No, I thought it'd be like a postcard or
Something that
hey,
everybody
thanks.
gets.
Yeah. Not a signed violin by Boyd.
I can assure you that everyone is not getting that.
Yeah.
Wow.
This was 2004, 2003. Yeah,
Wow,
it was
crazy.
but just the way he threw it over the fence. I'm like,
thank God it didn't break. So like you open this up and you like see what it is and you're like, holy shit. Who's the first person that you tell that's going to appreciate that story?
I called my friends Kurt and Scott in Vegas, the guys that turned me on to Dave Matthews. I'm like, you're never going to believe this shit. And they're like, holy fuck.
Oh, wow. Wow. And so now they're the holders of that. Is that what you said?
I think,
it's still back in Vegas?
Yeah. I think maybe a little bit late, 2005, 2006, but it is now, with one of them in a garage in Vegas.
Wow.
And I'm not going to give addresses out for people that live in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on. I need you to tell me the exact coordinates of where the...
Yeah, 49 dot. Yeah. So, no, and I left a lot of other stuff there. But, it was just...
That's wild. Oh,
I never expected that at all. Never expected.
So, and it turns out that you're a Boyd Tinsley fan. That's correct, right?
I think we're all Boyd. I think we all were or are Boyd Tinsley fans. I mean, there's a lot of people on social, on Twitter or X or whatever it's called now. Bring back Boyd. No, he's done. The band have evolved from there.
Well, and I don't think there's a place for him anymore.
No, there's not a place for an out of tune player at all.
Mm-hmm.
Dave knew this, I think, for a long time. That when they did,
did you just say what I think you said?
Yeah,
did you say an out of tune player?
Said it. I don't think Dave. he was for years. I mean, he was for years. Come on, let's admit it. You listen to the live tracks and you're like, oh shit, But when he was in his prime, when he was on top, I mean, that was just the best energy I've ever seen, Mm-hmm. But he wasn't in the room. He was flat. He was out. He was,
mm-hmm.
And it was incredible at the Gorge this year when I wasn't know what to expect. I'm like, okay, here we go. The band that I had my whole heart in was like, okay, let's bring it. Oh, Jesus Christ, did they? And then when Dave came out, the day that Buffett died.
Wow, yeah. That was really amazing.
And he came out and played.
That was amazing.
Pirate Looks at 40. And then he bought, was it, I can't remember who it was, Molly Tuttle.
Pearl Jam.
Bought the vibe.
No, well,
he did the Pearl Jam cover, yeah.
Jesus.
But he did the Pearl Jam cover. And then he bought, was it Molly Tuttle out, did Long Black Veil.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then the girl violin player, I can't remember her name, did the Ants March. I'm like, everyone was going.
Oh, that's right.
Fucking mental.
Yeah, I think the internet broke for like half a second at that moment.
It was ridiculous. I mean, but that's what. Yeah, okay. Listen, the band involved. There's more brass. You've got much more forte on the keys and harmony with Buddy. So that was my first time seeing him without Leroy or without Boyd. So I'm like, okay, let's see what this is all about. And I was like, take my money for next year.
I mean, did you show up thinking it was going to be great, or did you show up thinking, I don't know how this is going to go?
I showed up with no expectations. I was camping in Oasis, which was like, oh my God, this is kind of posh. And I just had no expectation of how the band were going to sound, how the band were going to be, how the interaction, how the crowd was going to be.
Right.
And I just stood there. In awe on the first night, on the Friday night. I'm like, oh my fucking God, this is special. to me, the Friday night at the Gorge was incredible, and it was quite interesting to see people there was a guy called Tom, and he was camping at Oasis for the first time, never been to the Gorge for the first time, and I was kind of like not social butterflying around tents because I don't do that. I was like walking around and trying to find the toilet or something. I don't know. So I'm talking to this guy Tom, who's not camped far away from us. And we got talking like first time at the Gorge, blah blah blah. He's like, yeah. I'm like, this is my third time. I don't know. I've never seen the band since this. And I saw him on that Friday night. I'm like, how was that? He goes, fucking hell, man. I'm like, yeah. I said, it wasn't that something special. Wow, and then it was like the next night, Saturday, and then Sunday. I mean, it was just great. And it was just such a decompression of when that weekend finishes, when that last note hits, you walk back to your tent, you're like, fuck.
Right.
That was special, man. And now that I drive 3 hours to drop my car off and fly 9 hours back to the UK and then another 3 hours to Romania. That was a long trip home, but it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
Yes, it was worth it. I mean,
they're a great band.
I feel like I
was more prepared to have the set list here for you, but I don't. But
well, here I can talk set list for you. You have to remember I'm a Dave Matthews Band nerd, so let's talk about night one. You haven't been back in several years. You haven't heard the band live that we currently have now, and they open up with a classic American Baby intro. What were your thoughts in that moment?
I'd never heard that before. I'd only heard that on the stand-up album, and I know that stand-up has a lot of bad press.
Mm-hmm. It does. More people than I believe say they don't like it.
I don't think it's a bad album at all. There's some great stuff on that. I love it.
There's some amazing songs on that album.
I never heard that American Baby intro, outro, powerhouse. I'm like, woo, okay, we're here. I'm at the Gorge. Here we go.
Oh my God. Some of the best memories of the Gorge last year were watching people, and I have a video of this because I'm that nerd that like records the crowd just to get the reaction of the first song, and people were losing their shit when the first song, I mean, it could have been anything and people would have lost your shit. You said pig, your first time you lost your shit. It could be anything, but I do think that American Baby intro was special because it's not common, right? It was kind of a new thing for 2023 for it to come back out.
I don't know what's common and what's not. You look on like X or people that are really fucking into this shit that call the songs of like, okay, he's got his hand.
I am that girl. I am that girl.
Are you? Seriously?
I'm that girl. Okay. You can pull out a guitar and I can almost name the song. Like I'm like threat level midnight shit.
I got two guitars behind me.
Oh no, I can't see them. Oh, and I'm not that good. I'm not that good. But like, here's what I know that if Dave, I know Dave's guitars.
What's up, everybody? This is David with the Dave Matthews Tribute Band. We're a nationally touring tribute to DMB, playing shows all over the country and beyond. Our goal is to bring you back to the classic sound that you fell in love with in the 90s and the 2000s, featuring a violin, saxophone, and maybe some keyboards sprinkled in as well. You can find out information about all of our tours and shows by visiting thedmtb.com. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram and other socials by searching the Dave Matthews Tribute Band or the DMTB. Hope to see you on the road and enjoy the Space Between podcast.
Yeah, no, I just, yeah, that America. So I was, you know, we're all under the influence of being in a great time and excited, and I had great seats. I was literally section 201. There I am, straight looking at him, and I'm like, okay, hair blown.
Yeah.
And
yes.
I'm like, okay, my mind was so
blown.
done that I did. Yeah, exactly. There he is on a stage. There's the cliffs. There's the Columbia River Theatre. I'm here with some great people that I love, and this has just absolutely blown my tits off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a really good weekend.
It's gonna be really good. It was worth the however many hour flight.
Oh, absolutely. I just want to say, y'all smell good this evening.
Hell yeah. You're in Washington. You're in I mean, that's part of it.
Yeah. And it was quite interesting. Can we talk? Let's just chat. I wear my heart on my sleeve because this is the first time that I've been back in the States for 9 years, and this is the first time that I've been back in the States since they made weed legal.
Oh, yeah.
So
wow.
Right, okay. So I didn't know about dispensaries or anything like this, but I spoke to my friend that lives in Seattle. I'm like, well, we need to go and get some bits and pieces, you know. I mean,
all of them. The cookies, the candy bars, the drinks, all the stuff.
Well, we just did the. Yeah, I was like, gonna get the vape pen and some edibles and you know, whatever made it back to Romania is fine, you know. But it was quite funny going into these shops and stealing with these people. Like, I'm like, hello, I'm from England. This is my first time in a dispensary, and this chick was like, well, what would you like, man? Would you like this? Oh, whatever you're having. You know,
right.
So
they want to know what kind of high you want.
And I got my sativa, and I got my vape pen, and I got my edibles, and I never had an edible before. And this is really quite funny that I drove from. You've been to the Gorge, right?
I just went one time last year.
Right. So, you know when you cross that bridge at Vantage, you cross the bridge across the river.
Yes.
I said to the person in my car, she came up from Florida. I said, should we try this vape? Should we do? Because I want to be driving and getting too fucked up. So we took a puff each, and within 2 minutes, I'm like, Susan, I am fucked. I am fucked, man. I am fucked. I said, where Ray and Mike, who are in another car, I'm driving. I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit. I'm forebode now. I'm a little bit. I can't. I don't know. I'm gonna get arrested. I don't know. So I said, where are Ray and Mike? They said they were in front of us. She goes, you've just overtaken them. I'm like, why the fuck? I mean, I had no idea that it was going to put me on my ass. Oh, fucking hell,
In a beautiful way. I mean, you felt great,
it was.
right?
Because, you know, I'll never forget the first time that I crossed that bridge, 2004, we're all looking and going, is this where we're going? You know, is this where we're staying?
Like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but in the middle of everywhere, right?
I suppose.
In the middle of just love. And you know what kind of pisses me off, Renae, is you're reading stuff on X or Twitter. It's like people that Camden last year, some big boogie boy pushing himself to the front of the rail. I'm like, and Dave was like, get the fuck out of here. You don't need people like that at Dave's shows.
Nope. Nope. And that's what continuously gives the band a bad name, because nobody wants to fucking talk about the goodness that happens. We always want to pull out those little negative people out of the concerts. And let's that's the Dave Matthews Band. Get out of the concerts.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Yeah. Don't come.
Do not come.
It's New Jersey, right? It's New Jersey.
It is New Jersey.
Stereotype
Yes.
a certain type of people from New Jersey that just want to come and piss people off.
There's definitely a stereotype, but there's people like that everywhere, though. So yeah, I mean, he got kicked out by Dave Matthews.
Yeah, he was. Dave was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" You could see him saying it. I was like,
"Yeah."
But how would you? See, yeah, I'm going to go try and see the band in Amsterdam and Cologne. I'm not a rail person, but I'd just like to. It's going to be quite interesting to see them in an inside venue.
Right. And people have been telling me that in Europe, when they perform, people do not stand, people do not scream the whole show. Like, it's a very different atmosphere. So I'm interested to see if that's true, or it continues to be true.
Okay, I'm gonna continue your legacy on of filming people at the opening song.
Please do. Send that to me. I love.
Send it off to you. Yeah. I'm going to Amsterdam, Cologne, or Berlin, because I work in all three. So
awesome.
And then out to the gorge this year. Are you going to head to the gorge this year?
You want me to be really honest?
Man.
No, it has nothing to do with them. I'm going to give an unpopular opinion. This is mine. It's not everybody's truths. The music, the venue, incredible. Can't top. Like, it's amazing. The camping was fucking awful. I hated it. No one was bringing me a drink. I had to cook my own fucking meals. Like, this is not vacation. This is not vacation. I know I'm spoiled, but I live in Arkansas. I live in the country. I don't want to go to the country for vacation.
Where did you camp? Which camping did you have?
And I'm probably embarrassed to say this, but I wasn't technically camping. I was in an RV with electricity in gold. Like, I didn't have a terrible setup, but also, like, with RVs come challenges. We had to there was like all this water shit that I had to know about, and a generator. Like, it was a lot of stuff that I didn't even know.
So did you rock up? Did you rock up and the trailer was there and you just walked into it?
Yes.
Fucking hell, man. Seriously?
I mean, it was really nice. That part's really nice, and I thought that was going to do it for me. But again, it's still so mujust work, because I bring a lot of shit with me. There was not enough room. The bed was too small. Like, again, I had to cook all of my food. It just was so much work for me. And I have 4 kids. I do a lot of fucking work all the time. I don't want to go and cook meals. That's terrible. I'll say I don't know. It was just a lot. It was a lot.
There are going to be so many people watching this and they're going, "What a bitch!"
I know, and I hate that, because I understand that this is an unpopular opinion, and I do. Since I did say all of that, I do need to say that Christine, my good friend, invited us to come over and do like a food, like a potluck. So we paid, actually we didn't pay them any money because they're so amazing, but we offered to pay them money, and they provided us a hot meal for every meal. And I love them. But, like, again, that was so much work for them. I watched them prepare it, and it was stressful. And like, that's not vacation. That's not vacation.
Okay. I'm going to tell you a story. Okay. You bitch.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. Don't apologize at all.
I don't like to camp.
I can even get There you go. Some people don't like to camp. So I went to Oasis this year, last year, and I was with my mate and some people that he'd met over the years in Oasis. So they had all these tents together. They bought a pizza oven, right? And this guy had bought This guy is a cop from Atlanta. He bought the pizza dough, the tomato. We had fresh fucking pizza for lunch and for dinner. I'm like, what's
Oh
happening
my
here?
God. What?
Yeah. So so it's a shame that I didn't know you a year ago.
I think we just did it wrong. I just think we did it wrong.
You know those pizza ovens, those whatever they're called or whatever. They did this whole thing. They bought everything with them. I was like, these freeze. We had to have an orientation about what food is where. This, I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, this is a bit. But there was a reason for it. I tell you, man, smash burgers. It was ridiculous.
What?
Ridiculous.
And you stayed in Oasis? So
yeah, ridiculous.
What is that the service Oasis provides, or was that just like a fan that brought all this shit?
No, this was just our camp, the people that I was camping with.
Oh my God.
We bought this pizza oven. Someone from Atlanta had bought the doughs and the toppings. Someone bought something else. These two chicks, Renae and Amanda from Calgary, they bought their stuff. Paige bought her stuff. Ray bought his stuff. And I was just the transporter of some stuff to be ingrated with their sort of like alumni.
Right.
And there we are. I'm like, and they're all doing the thing. I'm like, this is fucking great. What am I going to have to move a finger? Yeah, it was crazy, man.
That does sound nice. I mean, but I don't know. You know what? That's why they go to so many places, because everyone is different and there's good places and bad places for everybody. And not a lot of people want to come to Rogers, Arkansas to see Dave, but I fucking love it. So see, everybody has different opinions.
It's incredible. And the love for the band, the love for the music, that's what I think resonates us all together. It's just this whole thing of, did you see that? Did you hear that? I know that some people are, you played the wrong note there. Go fuck yourself, man. Just shut up. He played the wrong note. Oh, he didn't sing the right lyric.
How dare you not be perfect?
Yeah, go have a wank somewhere. It's like,
exactly.
And the thing is, it's quite funny. Is look on Facebook, or I think it's like, if they play this song, it's my go-to pee song. It's my go-to pee song.
Mm-hmm. People say
what's your go-to pee song? I don't have a go-to pee song. I just piss myself. That's not true. Maybe it is, but
okay, I laugh because I swear to God, one time I was in the pit and I had rail, and it was not one of those situations where, like, if I moved, I knew someone was going to save my spot. I knew that if I moved, I was fucking screwed. I was never going to get my spot back. So I had that inner conversation with myself going, okay, what are you going to do if you need to pee?
Yeah.
What are you going to need to do if you need to pee? And at that moment, hand to God, I said, I'm going to pee on myself. I did not. And I did not. But I understand that train of thought, because you're willing to kind of just, I don't want to miss a thing, right? I don't want to miss a thing.
I'm sure that people do. I'm sure that people just absolutely piss themselves.
Either on purpose or not, right? Like,
Mom, it's my birthday. I mean, the thing is, if I was wearing black shorts, I would, if I needed to go and I'm on the rail and they're in the middle of dancing Nancy's and needs to go, I would just let it go.
I mean, at that point, like everybody's got so much bodily fluids that we're sharing between the sweat and like the shit that's coming. Yeah. What's a little urine?
Yeah.
What is a little urine?
Yeah. It's a little pee-pee. It's just a little pee-pee. It's just a little pee-pee. Yeah. It's just
unpopular opinion, but
it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So
that's hilarious.
I don't have a go-to pee-pee song, or I don't have a. Yeah, I'm like, I remember the Gorge. The first time we had these VIP seats, the second night we had like reserve seating. And then this guy had done for me, when before the pit, I was in the second row of the seats at the gorge for the last night. And I kept looking up behind me. I'm like, fuck me, that's a long way to go, man. And I was, I was just out on a satellite somewhere, My friend,
right.
the fun guys kicked in. I'm like, oh shit, man. And I started to walk away on the Sunday night as I started to play Watchtower, and I wasn't really enjoying the vibe around me because I sort of like lit a joint, and so I was like, "You want to put that out?" I'm like,
"What?"
No.
Like, dude, you're at a Dave Matthews Band concert. Chill.
Yeah, who are you sponsored by? Budweiser? Fuck off. So I sort of like everything was just kicking in at the right moment. I was right there. I was looking at Dave. I'm like, second row. This is before the pits and stuff. And I started to walk up, and just everything started to kick in, And just as the music accelerated, I started to walk around the corner, and just as where the people sit by the fences on those rocks and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay. This is where I need to be to beat the crowd. This is where I need to be. I just watched the whole thing from there. And I was like, and my friends were like, why don't you stay down there for the whole thing? I'm like, I just needed to be where I needed to be for that time.
That's
And it was like, oh my God, can you put that joint out? Fuck you.
Jesus. I don't even know what I would say if someone asked me that. But I don't know. Maybe I'm scary. No one's ever told me that before.
Yeah, what do you say? Someone seriously said, can you put that joint out? And I turned around and I went, go and tell your Budweiser sponsor to fuck off.
So
seriously
wild. That's crazy.
Yeah, ridiculous.
That's crazy. So tell me about your family. Is anyone else in your household a Dave Matthews Band fan, or do they think that you are just crazy?
Okay, so I'm a single dad. Hey, ladies.
Hey.
No, I'm a single dad, and I live in Romania. I live estranged from my son's mother. I've tried to play some stuff for my son, on the speaker or whatever. And I don't think he's at the age, but he loves Johnny Cash.
Oh wow!
So that's a good in. My friends in Romania think that I'm like, you're going to see a band in the States. Why? I'm like, I cannot even begin to explain how this is.
Right.
This is something that touches your soul.
Right.
And it really is. Doesn't matter where you're with. It's who you're with that really matters. And
that's exactly right.
I'm like, I told my friends in Romania this time that I'm going to see them in Europe, and I'm going back to the Gorge. They said, like, you're crazy. I'm like, it's what gives me peace. It gives me healing. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I think so many people are after that now.
Yes, absolutely. There's a really cool Facebook group, like Dave Matthews Band Singles Over 50.
Yes.
And there's a couple of ladies that are coming over to see Dave in Cologne, Amsterdam. So I like to connect with them. But the thing is, this Dave Matthews Band single group is like, I don't like to be like, how you doing? I don't want to be that guy that goes, well, you fucking creep. It's like, just whatever is whatever, and it's fun.
Yeah, well,
so yes, back to the Gorge.
Yeah, go ahead.
Back to the Gorge this year. Looking forward to it. Really looking forward to having a great time.
Yeah, that's going to be incredible. So, dude, I cannot thank you enough for, obviously there's a big time delay between Arkansas and Romania. I think it's 8 hours ahead. So thank you so much for being willing to kind of like carve out some time.
Ever you and your husband and your kids ever want to come here, you are
to Romania. Let's go.
Absolutely my guests.
Awesome. Well, how about next week? No, I don't even know if I could get there that quick. God, yeah, that's a big journey.
I won't be here. I won't be here. I won't be here, but the kids to my apartment will be. So.
So, do you speak more than one language?
Weirdly, I speak, yes, English is my native tongue. I speak fluent Swedish. That's when I worked for a Swedish hotel chain years ago. A little bit of Spanish and some Romanian.
Okay, so say something. I want to hear you say something in Romanian, because obviously that's not a thing that I hear ever. So tell me something, and then tell me what you said.
Okay. Bună ziua, ce faci?
So what does that
Which
mean?
is, hello, Rianne, how are you?
Aha. Well,
it
seems like a whole lot shorter, right?
Chafaz, yeah, it's a Latin root.
Gotcha.
It's a Latin root.
Was it hard?
Yeah.
Was it hard for you to learn?
I have learned by watching, like kids do. My son, he speaks Romanian, he speaks English. But I learned by watching the news, and I understand more than I speak, to be honest.
Sure. Well, that's wild. So is Romania like a forever home for you? Or are you looking to it sounds like you've traveled and you've lived a lot of places. So are you happy? You want to stay there?
I am happy here. Yeah, I am happy here. The level of living is good. I mean, I worked on cruise ships for the best part of 30 years. So I've been all over the world.
Wow. Yeah.
But here is my home. My son is here. I have my house.
It probably feels good to just be in one spot after 30 years of traveling, right?
Yeah. I work in Europe. I work in Europe a lot. I work all over Europe, sort of like from the Netherlands, Germany, France, and Switzerland. But yeah, it's really good to be here. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's
a
really
beautiful
good.
Country. It's beautiful.
There's actually there's a girl in my town. She works for, and if this podcast goes out, I like to say, hey, Roxy. She is a huge DMB fan, and she works at a sort of like recycling plant, and I still have, I got some swag at the Gorge that I said to her, we found each other through some Dave Matthews site in Europe, and we met for a coffee and we had a really good chat. So I got her some swag from the Gorge, and I've still not yet seen her. So I said to her, I got some stuff for you, man. So yeah, she's a cool chick. She's really and her
awesome.
in the city that I live, you're allowed to have 2 letters of BV, which is the city of Brasov, then 3 letters, then a number. And her license plate is BV DMB 41. I'm like,
oh
yes,
my God.
Perfect.
Well, you know what? You need to tell her. We need more Romanians on the show. So if she wants to share her personal, tell her she needs to be on the show.
Yeah, she'd love it too. Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm really happy to have done this. I was, it's been like a couple of months in anticipation to do it.
Oh my God. Well, I'm glad it was something you looked forward to doing.
Oh my God, I couldn't wait. I was like, I think my phone went off. I was like looking through without my glasses, like Kieron Buffery at gmail.com. And I was like, I haven't heard from you. And
I know.
4 kids in the house, 3 parents. I'm like, okay, I've got to set the computer up. Under no circumstances can anybody come into my bedroom. So yeah, this has been brilliant, man. It's been just great to chat.
Yes. I mean, I can never have enough talking about the Dave Matthews Band, but even more like the community around the Dave Matthews Band and just hearing different people's experiences, because every single person has a very different story. And I just find that to be incredible. And I'm so thankful to get to hear so many different people's perspective of what this band has done to clearly people around the world. It's a global
I
thing,
think
and
I think it's healed people.
it has
Definitely, I think it's saved people.
100%. 100%. I mean, definitely like
Saved
life and death shit. Like, I'm not exaggerating. It's really,
yeah. People have lived and and been on a very sharp edge, and this band have come in with their lyrics and their melodic tones and done that. But I think it's also inspired and excited and got people's guts going about how good they are.
Yes.
It's just quite interesting. I was reading, because the tour dates dropped and people are like, oh my God,
Yes.
I'm going, and people are pissed off. There's no California date. I'm like, okay,
Sure,
whatever.
sure. There's no fucking
we're
Arkansas.
all spoiled. Yeah, no, we're all spoiled. We're like, we're all wankers in our own desire of like, well, why are you fucking coming here? But what I've seen is a lot of people that are like, my first time in the warehouse, how do I do this? When did I know my tickets come? Lots of posts about new fans, and that's what it's all about.
Wow. Can you, I mean, that's, it's just, for me, it's mind blowing. And so it's always good to get with people that get it, right? Like, you get what I'm saying and you get the magnitude of all of this.
On the Sunday night at the Gorge, I got to tell you this, and this blew my mind. I was sat on a bench. We were on lawn tickets, and my friend and I were there, Susan, and I got talking to some chick. I said, do you mind if we sit here? She's like, yeah, no problem. And of course, you get to the things, where you're from. And she goes, I'm from Ohio. I said, how many times have you seen the band? She went, 215.
Oh my God. Do you remember her name?
Your reaction, I don't know her name.
That's okay.
She's from Ohio. And I just looked, I was like Scooby-Doo. I was like, huh?
What?
200. How do you afford that? How do you afford that?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of secrets, truly. Like, it's not, I have talked to enough people to kind of know how to do this, because there are people that get to do. If you are working remote, which a lot of people are these days, or if you work for a company that, you're going to be doing businesses in a lot of places where Dave is playing, you travel around I mean, like, there are ways to make it work where you're not really out any money. So there's a system to it.
250. I'm like, okay. And there's me going, 45.
That's still a lot.
200.
I need you to know that 45 is still a lot.
Fortunate, very blessed, very fortunate.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. 45.
Yeah.
Wow. 45.
I bought my first piece. Bought my first piece of merchandise as well at the Gorge on the last night, and then must have been a little bit sort of like spaced out and left it in a toilet somewhere, so I didn't come out with any merch. Anyway.
Oh no! Oh my God!
It wasn't a poster or a Sperry or anything. It was just a T-shirt.
Okay, I was like, that's literally what I had thinking in my head, is you left a Sperry in the toilet.
No. That would have been between the cheeks of my ass.
Hell yeah! I would have been like putting it in my shirt. I don't know.
Horizontally.
It would have all worked out for sure. Well, dude, I can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing your journey and like your really fun stories. And I think it's really just reminding people that this band has a grip on the world and not just the States, like often said. So thank you so much for that reminder, but also thank you just for making me laugh, because dude, like, you've had a lot of fun with the band. Well, guys, if you are listening to this on your favorite podcast app, just know that you can also watch this on YouTube under the Space Between Podcasts. And be sure to follow us on all of the socials, because this is where you're going to find out what is coming out next. Every Friday, I have a fan on to talk about their journey. And so if you want to know what is upcoming, which we have some amazing, amazing things coming, because there's nothing but amazing stories when it comes to the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. So guys, stay tuned. Check us out on socials. And in the meantime, guys, like I always say, peace, love, and Dave Matthews Band. Thank you so much.